in for a board with a set of legs, please. Thank you very much.
For people starting out, attitude is far more important to me personally than skill level.
Personally, I think attitude is 1,000 times more important than skills. We can teach skills, we can work through different things, and people can learn from the fantastic people that are around them.
For me, attitude is far more important than skill.
I don't ever expect somebody to walk out of college and turn up on a job and know everything. That's just ridiculous.
We can teach all the skills that anybody needs in whichever department we want to hire them into.
I think that's quite a straightforward one. I think it's just about positivity. It's all about having the right attitude.
That willingness to take up that tutoring on board, kind of that willingness to work, to learn.
And someone who, you're looking for someone who wants to learn, who is interested in what they're doing and just shows a bit of positivity. I think it's that simple.
Definitely you need a kind of welcoming, pleasant attitude. You need to work well with others, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in somebody fresh to the industry.
Like the first thing you look at is are they going to put a shift in and do the job with a smile on their face?
I always say I need two things from anyone who starts working for me. I need you to turn up on time and be willing to learn.
You want people that turn up on time, and by turning up on time, I don't mean if the call's at 9, they arrive at 9. I mean they arrive on stage at 9, wearing all their PPE, ready for the day, fed, eaten, had a cup of tea, and ready to go.
We can help you with everything else. You can go from having no experience to being taught as much as we can if you're willing to listen and learn and grow from your own mistakes.
One of the best things they could do is if someone that's great at listening but also isn't worried about asking questions.
I want people that ask loads of questions, and often those questions have got to be at the right time, but I want people that question plenty, that want to understand it.
Like if they've got a doubt about what's something, like you've explained to them when they're going off to go do it, but I'd rather explain it 3 times.
Inquisitive, asking questions.
Yes.
Ask lots and lots of questions.
Then them go and do it, and then you have to come back and completely redo it.
There's no shame in not knowing something.
Honesty about skills is really important, because I can teach people skills and they can learn. And people with the can-do attitude are the people that get far.
I think nowadays, so back in the day when I first started, a lot of people came into theatre without any kind of formal theatre qualifications, but now a lot of people are coming out of sort of drama schools with a degree or similar qualification. And so I guess when those people come through, you want those experiences, you want that skill set from people, but you also want them to be humble enough to realise that they've passed their driving licence, but they've then got to learn to drive their car in the real world, kind of thing. So you want people to not turn up and think they know it all, and just to have a growth mindset. I guess it's really important.
What would you like from a young person?
To be able to tie knots properly would be nice.
So I think if you're starting out in the industry, I would say I personally look for someone who is hardworking, who always wants to just do more. They can't do enough,
Skills and attitudes to have would be like listening. It sounds really basic, but definitely need to be able to take on instructions from whoever the person in charge is.
I'd look for someone who is proactive, keen, but not irritatingly keen. I think we've all met someone like that.
Enthusiasm.
A willingness to work, to enjoy what we're doing, be passionate about it, and you reap the rewards for that.
Hardworking.
For the teams of people that I put together, I'm always looking at personality. I want to enjoy going to work, and I want a bunch of people that are going to enjoy going to work.
Enthusiasm and interest.
if you are a positive person and you are looking for things to do rather than just standing there being like, oh, this is rubbish, then it makes the whole experience a lot more enjoyable, and it'll be a lot more productive, and then we'll probably be finished a lot quicker.
Positive and someone who just likes what they're doing. If someone loves what they're doing, that radiates, and especially in stage management, you need to be able to deal with people.
It's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be plain sailing. There are going to be problems.
You know, you can't take this job too seriously either.
But humour gets you through some of the worst situations, some of the long, horrible nighters.
I think the main skill for someone starting out is to readiness and eagerness to learn and get on with it. I think it's a lot to do with attitude.
So yeah, if you love what you're doing, then that kind of it kind of embraces everyone, and it makes your job so much easier.
I think you've got to go in there with a positive attitude, someone who mucks in and gets on with it.
I just want people to come with a willingness to learn, a smile, a bit of a joke, and be willing to kind of help each other out.
If you stand back, you won't learn as much. You've just got to get involved.
Us as experienced professionals, we're all still learning all the way, and I have people that I learn off as well. But as long as you've got that aptitude for the job and a good attitude and the willingness to do the job.
You will make mistakes if you're just starting out, but you've got to move on from them and learn from them. If you can do that, then you can go far.
I also think it's very important, if you make a mistake, just to go, I've made a mistake.
And be honest if you make a mistake.
Because there's nothing worse than people making a mistake, spend ages trying to cover it up, and eventually you find out that it was that person.
Because if you try and hide something, we always know about it.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out later on anyway, and it's just going to make our lives more difficult.
And it just brings distrust into stuff when you could just go, I've made a mistake. You go, okay, cool. What can I learn from this? How do I move on? And you don't waste any time trying to work out how something's gone wrong.
Get a lot more respect if you hold your hands up and say, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I've made a mistake.
One key thing that I would say is make sure that you understand what other people are doing. Don't be an expert in everything, you can't be. But do have a good understanding and make yourself learn what other departments do. Even if it's a department you're never, ever going to have anything to do with or work in, have a little thought about what are they going through, what's their day like, do they need anything extra, can we help them out in any way? That's a really good thing to bring to the table.
And the other one would be having a good memory, because I don't have one at all.
Yeah, mine's going as well a bit.
So I can rely on a young person to remember things for me. It's really
terrible,
good.
isn't it?
But to be honest, the job does involve having a good memory, because there's an awful lot of equipment and awful lot of things that you have to put together, and it's vital that you can remember things.